bit, and then I'll be joined by CP Chuks in one. So we'll talk about these issues in the news. Welcome to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's the front page review. Please get closer to your radio set and also gather your friends around. It's time to actually talk about what is happening on the front pages of major Nigerian newspapers this morning. We will begin with the Punch newspapers. Senate shifts resumption to May 6. Equity market loses 207 billion naira amid Easter holiday. Reduce housing sector taxes. Operators urge government. SEC warns influencers, bloggers against promoting unregistered schemes. This is coming after the crash of Ponzi schemes. CBEX, with a lot of people losing their money, losing their life savings to what has turned out to be a scam. Boko Haram now on TikTok operates unmanned drones. This is according to a security expert. Now, also on the Punch newspapers, on the front page of the Punch newspapers this morning, interest boom. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion naira from loans. Also, judgment analysis. Report me to LPDC. Falana dares Wike. Then we also have presidency pushes back as Bakari Kuka criticized Tinubu's policies. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper, state police off agenda as NEC meets on Thursday. A lot of people have been calling for state policing, but it seems that that will not be talked about at the National Executive Council meeting. Power crisis. Federal government turns to banks for $23 billion lifeline. Also, killings. Shatima visits Plateau today. Danjuma calls for self-defense. You can find that on the front page of Punch newspaper. We'll also be looking at Mohbad's death. Rights group demands phone record analysis. Then there's this tragic development. A man dies during wife's 60th birthday in Lagos. We also have this other news story. NDREA nabs drug lords supplying bandits. Also, court slams Lagos Monarch Associates 20 million naira fine over land trespass. Then police arrest landlady as new tenant abscond with 4 children, and the police rescue 2 abducted women in Edo State. These are the stories on the front page of Punch newspaper this morning. You can actually check that out. From the front pages of the Punch newspaper, we'll be moving into Daily Post newspaper this morning. New terrorist group Mahmuda occupying parts of Kwara, Niger State. Emir cries out. That is Emir of Yashikira Umaru Seriki in Baruta local government area of Kwara State, saying that there is a new terrorist group operating around Kwara State. But over the weekend, security agencies told us that this is a false alarm and there is no new terrorist group operating anywhere in Nigeria. But instead, it was a Boko Haram commander who maybe broke away from his formation and then started terrorizing areas around Kwara and Niger State. But if the Emir is coming out to say that indeed there is a new terrorist group, what is the Nigerian security agencies not telling us? Also on the front page of Daily Post newspaper this morning, I'm not dumping PDP for APC. Zamfara Governor Lawal counters reports. Then we'll be looking at North crying under Tinubu will soon decide political direction. This is according to President Tinubu's former political advisor, Hakeem Baba Ahmed. Also on the front page of Daily Post newspaper this morning, stop false narratives, media manipulation against Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB family warns federal government, and gunmen abduct 6 travelers in Kwara State. It's been so much news of insecurity making the rounds lately, and a lot of Nigerians are not happy about the fact that this is what dominates our news items. This is what dominates our discourse most of the time. All right, there are some foreign stories on the front page of Daily Post newspaper. Tariff talks with U.S. may not be easy. That is according to South Korea. U.S. dollar tumbles as federal independence under threat. Then Gaza war will dismiss commander. Israel admits professional failures in killing of 15 rescue workers. Then Ukraine under air raid alerts hours after one-day Russia ceasefire ends. And U.S. Trump identifies 8 non-tariff cheating. You can find all of that on the front page of Daily Post newspaper. Also on the front page of Daily Post newspaper, Wike successful, unlike Ojudu, who deceived Obasanjo. That's according to Larry Olayinka. And Plateau, Benue violence, politically motivated. Niger APC chieftain Vatsa. All right, we'll be moving on from Daily Post newspaper this morning into the Nation newspapers. We have quite a number of news items on the front page of Nation newspaper this morning. Experts prefer community involvement, police independence as solutions. Also, Benue under siege, says Governor Aliyah. 21 Kebbi Council chairmen get intelligence-driven security training. Then, Plateau Benue killings, state police back on front burner. National grid, government sets terms for willing investors. And Tinubu's appointment most accommodating, says Omokri. There is also another story on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Tinubu Chiani meet soon over Nigeria-Niger ties. And on the foreign scene, Pope Francis VI end to global conflict. Can there really be an end to global conflict? Can there really be an achievement of total world peace all around the world? You can find all of these stories on the front page of the Nation newspapers. Also on the front page of Nation newspapers, 2027 APC Forum slams Malami for dismissing Al Makura-led CPC bloc. And 2027 PDP Labour Party building mansion on sandy soil that will collapse. And PDP governor's resolution on national secretary deepens intrigues. All of that on the front page of the Nation newspapers. In sports, Ndidi suffers relegation again with Leicester down. Yes, you can find all of those stories on the front page of the Nation newspapers. We'll be moving into the Sun newspapers this morning, just taking a look at some stories that have made it to the headlines of the Sun, major newspaper in Nigeria this morning. Insecurity, Nigeria reaching breaking point, gradually becoming a national morgue. That is according to Bishop Kuka. And Bakare Lambas Tinubu says his motor park politics has destroyed NAS. That's on the front page of the Sun newspaper today, April 21. 2027, reason for killings in Plateau, Benue. APC chieftain Vatsa. Is there something that Vatsa knows that he's not telling Nigerians? 2027, North to decide on presidential candidate soon. That's according to Baba Ahmed. Now, how greed, regulatory lapses fueled 1.3 trillion naira CBEX heist, and controversies around $700 million cabotage vessel financing fund. You can find all these stories on the front page of the Sun newspaper. Also, why opposition members are moving to APC Bello. 2027, North to decide on presidential candidates soon. Baba Ahmed, National Assembly working on state police framework. That's according to Senate leader. Then Nigeria's Tunde Onokoya reclaims a Guinness World Record title for 64-hour chess marathon. The young man is doing so well, and we need to applaud him. Insecurity, Nigerians must defend themselves. This is according to T.Y. Danjuma. Yes, he's saying that Nigerians must defend themselves with the spate of killings all across the country. We cannot afford to actually fold our hands and watch the situation continue to deteriorate. All right, stop playing God, embrace humility. Bakare to Tinubu. And the Lagos building collapse, 12 rescued, 5 dead as rescue efforts continue. This is quite a tragic story that's been making the round over the weekend, and we do pray for the repose of the soul of the deceased, and I hope that the relevant authorities will look into building regulations in Nigeria to make sure that people are actually not building with substandard products, so that we do not continue to have situations like this. We'll move on from the Sun newspaper and look at the Vanguard newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, we have 2027 presidency. No candidate can win without the North. This is according to Baba Ahmed. That's Hakeem Baba Ahmed, President Tinubu's former political advisor, who actually resigned recently. Plateau, Benue killings, Danjuma, Atiku, Kuka, Bakare, others decry insecurity. You can find that story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Sec to celebrities, influencers, bloggers, stop promoting Ponzi schemes. Also, death toll in Lagos building collapse rises to 5, 15 rescued. It's quite unfortunate that a number of people have been trapped under the rubble of this collapsed building since Saturday morning when this happened. High cost of Medicare. More Nigerians now rely on social media health prescriptions. And how Nigerian hotelier slumped and died during wife's 60th birthday celebration. Also, controversy trails death of 2 actors in Owerri after meal and wine. And NDLEA intercepts cocaine hidden in Saudi-bound religious books. The smugglers are always trying to be smart, but we commend the relevant agencies, we commend the NDLEA for always being sharp-eyed. Yes, 4 children abducted in Delta community. Insecurity continues to seep into even the communities where it looks like it is safe. The more reason why we need our security agencies to step up. Benue, Ebonyi, communal clash, claims 6, injures others. And gunmen abduct 7 travelers in Kwara State. All of these stories can be found on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Nigerians are hungry for Labour Party government in 2027. This is according to Ogun State Labour Party chairman. Also, Malami, others in CPC started plotting against Tinubu in 2024. That is according to Obono Obla. Court ruling how Obasa played Lagos Assembly members. Also, Danjuma tells Benue Plateau residents to defend themselves against bandits. I did not lie, Supreme Court. I did not lie against the Supreme Court, Falana replies Wike. And Serap sues NBC over arbitrary ban on Idris Abdul Karim's song. Also, Ekiti State College of Nursing student, a parent at war over hostel fees hike. Then justice for Quadri, lawyer alleges cover-up by Lagos Police Command. You can find all of the stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Let's take a look at Daily Trust newspapers, the stories that actually made it to the headlines this morning. Nigeria descending into tyranny. This is according to Pastor Tunde Bakare. Baba Ahmed, from presidential advisor to critic. Then Bauchi governor, foreign affairs minister's rivalry escalates. We did hear over the reports over the weekend that the deputy governor slapped the foreign affairs minister, but his media team came out to debunk that, saying there is no way he could have raised his hand against the minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And all right, commodity associations pledge strategic action to boost food security. Nigerian Muslims must continue to promote peace and justice. Tinubu. Over 12,000 women suffer cervical cancer annually in Nigeria. That's according to Pate. And Shetima visits just today as defense minister assures of security. How can you continue to give Nigerians an assurance of security while you're talking about it and saying we are committed to ensuring the security and safety of your lives and properties? As at that moment, attacks are happening all across the country. How can the people believe that you're actually looking out for them? Then, electricity customers owe discos 497 billion naira in 2024. Please pay your bills. Please pay your bills. You can find all of these stories on the front page of Daily Trust newspapers. Let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper this morning on the front page review right here on the Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Stakeholders seek comprehensive transition guideline for green economy. Then fire guts shops at Bagi Market, Ibadan. Then ACF blames Nigeria's woes on corruption, nepotism and bad leadership. Then at Easter, Bamidele Fayemi preach unity, holiness, compassion and others. IPOB calls for international panel to probe causes of insecurity in the southeast. You can find that on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Bakare says nation descending into tyranny. Described 10th National Assembly as spineless. Also, Unilag Lafarge Africa Loma to hold seminar on decarbonization of waste recycling and processing. All of the stories can be found on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. There is also a foreign news story here. U.S. tariff war, an opportunity to strengthen China-Nigeria trade relations. All right, we're moving on from the Guardian to look at Premium Time newspaper this morning. Let's just take a look at the front pages, the stories that have made it to the headline. Stop playing God, Pastor Bakari tells Tinubu in Easter message. SEC to clamp down on social media influencers, bloggers promoting unregistered investment. And Lagos building collapse, death toll rises to 5. Then Nigeria's Tunde Onokoya breaks world chess record again. MacArthur, others call for resistance against Trump's attack on philanthropy. You can find all of the stories on the front page of Premium Times newspaper. And finally, we'll be looking at Leadership newspaper this morning on the front page review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. In Easter homily, Bishop Kuka urges Tinubu to end hardship insecurity. Then, choices, not chance, why China is rich and Nigeria is poor. Then Governor Aliyu restores electricity to 8 Sokoto LGAs. Federal government partners NGO to empower 1,000 youths on shoemaking and maintenance. Jibrin launches scholarship for 300 students. You can find all those stories on the front page of Leadership newspapers. If you actually take a look, you find all of those stories. Defection hits APC, PDP in Gombe. Then, yes. Those are the stories you can find on the front page of Leadership newspaper this morning. You're tuned into the front page review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Choma Innocent. I'm sitting in for Jude Ikami Jude. It's about time for me to be joined by Rufai Oseni this morning to actually give his own perspective on the issues that have made it to the front pages of major Nigerian newspapers this morning. It's quite a lot of things to talk about, so we'll be joined by Rufai Oseni shortly so that we can also get his own perspective on these issues. You're still tuned in to the front page review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's time for me to be joined by Rufai Oseni, who, at the moment is not exactly around, but he did make sure that he'll be joining us this morning. Good morning, Rufai, and thank you so much for your efforts.
Biggest stories in the land is the interview that Minister Wiki had on Friday. I mean, it has now shown that he is the orchestrator of all the Rivers problem, and I'm happy that he has accepted it. He said he wanted to remove Fubara outright, that we should go and thank the president for saving him. So, is it God that he'll be able to remove Fubara? So, obviously, it does not show that he was the one working with the National Assembly members in Rivers State to be able to remove him, which we all know before. So he was probably also the one funding all of them. Anyway, these things were not oblivious of before. But for me, it's the boldness at which he has now come to accept all of these things and say, I wanted to remove him. The president had to intervene. It was an aberration. The state of emergency, which is an aberration. So it is also obvious now that the sole administrator pretty much panders to him. So we have seen the braggadocious nature of Wiki. We have seen how men call themselves God. We have seen how they assume the power of principalities for themselves, and they call themselves ruler, that nobody can ask them questions. They have turned themselves into God as we speak now. And it speaks volumes about the state of play. And I think the Rivers people should be wise from all of this they have seen. But anyway, do they really determine the order of things? Because if you are not wise, it's going to It's going to it's going to cause a big problem in our political ecosystem.
Austin.
He further went ahead to say that who is Tinubu would help me. So Wike is definitely assuming the role of God. In fact, he thinks he's bigger than his master. You see, we need to be careful. But history also teaches us that the lives of politicians like Wike, they will come and they will go. And their fall is very, very big when it happens. So we keep watching. We keep watching. And it's a very sad commentary on our politics that one man can use resources to be able to destroy the political octets of our politics and lead us astray. We are not surprised. We are not shocked. We are not oblivious of the runnings of things. But everybody in River should stand firm. Everybody in River should stand firm. And while all of this is happening, there were still killings in Benue in the course of Friday, which we talked about. In fact, I heard the death toll has risen to 17 now. And it's very sad. And please, the national airport. I was through that airport recently. In one of the boarding bridge, that thing you enter before you enter the plane, the AC is not working, and we're all cramped in their huts. I've sent a message to Minister Kiamu. These things are not good for our country. How can the boarding bridge not be working? And it speaks volumes. Foreigners to come on board. That's how they just look at us anyhow. That's how they just look at us anyhow. So we need to do better. And many are still trapped in building collapse in Lagos. Building collapse has become the order of the day. You wonder what are the building authorities doing about it. A multi-story building in Oremeta Street or Judubega axis collapsed, unspecified number of people trapped beneath. And it's a very sad one that is coming out. My very good friend and brother. I've seen him in performances many times. We have danced together. Big Bolaji, he touched the lives of people with the gospel of Christ. His story of redemption was an inspiration to a lot of people. I thank God for the life he lived because in his lifetime, he changed for Christ and he affected a lot of people from Christ. And he brought the joy of Christ. Big Bolaji was always a joy. I'd walk with him and see many events he was. And this one really went close to home for me. We'll continue to live his legacy. God bless the family left behind and comfort them. He celebrated his 50th birthday last November. His death was confirmed by family members in a statement. Very sad one. Big Bolaji, a trailblazer, a big brother. God bless you. God's general. Continue to rest. Continue to rest. Adelabu targeting improved energy supply. Target energy thieves. We need massive investments for improved energy supply. For us to have to get it, we need to make improvements. Are we ready to make the improvements? As long as we're not ready to make improvements, I don't think we're ready. I don't think we're ready. So we need to be careful. We need to be able to look at these things critically. If we don't, we're not going anywhere. May God help us. May God open our eyes to be able to see anew. May God make his face shine over us. May God open our eyes to possibility. I pray it's going to be well with us as a nation at this point in time and at this period. It's going to be well. So talking about things happening in Nigeria, some sad indications are now coming out. And the death toll in Benue is now going up to 56. We first reported 11. Now we reported 17. Now it's going up to 56, which is a sad indication of what is going on in Benue as regards insecurity. And President Tinubu is not fighting it. And despite all of this, other PDP governors are already siding with him for 2027. And one of the reasons I don't know all the reasons, but one of the reasons I think is that their party too has not shown it from the low opposition. There's been a lot of infighting in their political parties. So they're already siding with him. Governor Eno openly came out to side with him. In fact, the governors of Delta, Enugu, and a couple of other governors are already weighing their option. In fact, that of Delta, people are already saying it's long gone. So, and it's because they've been able to dismantle the PDP in such a way that they know it can't even provide a viable opposition they can support in the next election cycle. And Wiki has been able to do a very fantastic job at that, at decimating the PDP. And that's how he's so bold enough to say that after Tinubu, uh, who is Tinubu without me? So, these are the political machinations going on in Nigeria as we speak today. While the people can just watch and look and wait and hope and pray that something good comes out of it for Nigeria, which is a very sad indication of the state of play of our politics. And that's why we are saying we should shine their eye in 2027 that if care is not taken, President Tinubu will easily stroll in. In fact, he's not even going to do any work. He will stroll in and be re-elected. It should be on ground that I'm saying the truth now, and I'm making a clarion call to all Nigerians. Apart from even the power of incumbency, the way he's beginning to garner all the support necessary, it just shows that he's going to stroll in.
All right, that was Rufai Oseni. I'm now being joined by CP Chuks, Ewomo. He's a retired policeman as well as a political and public affairs analyst. CP Chuks, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Easter.
I wish you the same. Good morning to you and to the listener.
Thank you so much. All right, looking at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning, there is a very disturbing item on the front page of the Punch newspaper that says Boko Haram now on TikTok operates unmanned drones. This is according to security analyst and senior fellow of the Extremism Policy Unit at Tony Blair Institute for Global Change, Bulama Bukati. Yesterday, he warned that the activities of Boko Haram have started gaining ground on major social media platforms like TikTok. Now, Bukati spoke when he was featured as a guest on a television program. This is coming barely 1 week after the senator for Borno South District, that's Aline Dume, lamented that Borno State lost 100 soldiers and 280 civilians to the onslaught carried out by Boko Haram insurgents in just 6 months. Now, here is the thing. The army has been calling on youth to come and enroll, has even said that enrollment figures, especially from the southeast, are not as high as it should be, and the region is not filling up its quota. Also, we've seen situations where there is a tweet by the police PRO, national PRO, saying no matter who you are, where you are, we can get you, we can track you. If these terrorists are online, if they are on TikTok, sometimes they go live, sometimes they post videos showing off the ransom, showing off their vehicles. I recall watching a video where one was holding, I think it was an IED, the type that you can actually twist off the top and throw it. And, he was playing with it. These people are so brazen, yet it seems that there is difficulty on the part of their security agencies to get to them. What exactly are we dealing with here? The lack of political will, or the fact that these people are actually stronger than all our security agencies combined?
I don't subscribe to the idea or the thinking that Boko Haram are stronger than the government security forces or, services. What really is the problem? Number one, intelligence. I don't think the men or the officers and men on ground on those operations have adequate and appropriate intelligence. If they do, who is Boko Haram? Boko Haram is a group of terrorists. They can never be organized better than the armed forces of a nation. The armed forces of a nation enjoys was projects that can provide them with adequate logistics to decrease any sort of insurgency or terrorism. Having said that, apart from the issue of intelligence, another challenge they are having is that those people live in the midst of the generality of the public. movement of the troops, but the troops do not know the movements of the Boko Haram, which ties into the issue of intelligence now. And furthermore, you come to find out that there is an asymmetric war, that if you say, okay, you're going to level an area now, maybe at the end of the day, you will level innocent villagers just because of the splinter group, you know. It is a very serious challenge that they are in, that Borno axis, Borno Yobe axis, are not East axis. That is why up till now they have not been able to stamp out this level of terrorism that is, you know, growing more like a monster in that part of the country. And it's a very disturbing phenomenon, because we are taking it like jokes, and they are gradually infiltrating the other states around there, even having incursion into the middle belt of states of Plateau, Nasarawa, Taraba, and Benue. No, Taraba is not and Benue. Because all these ones we are talking of unknown gunmen or militias, or what do you call them, headsmen. You can't rule out that some of those people are not Boko Haram. They could be the same people. And they are the ones masquerading themselves as insurgents in the northwest of both Kaduna, Kebbi, Katsina, Zamfara axis.
All right, CP Chuks, you're talking about putting emphasis on intelligence, and it is really, really needed so that we can actually ensure that our security agencies have the right information to go after these terrorists. Can you hear me, CP Chuks? CP Chuks, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, thank you so much. Now, over the weekend, I think this story broke on Friday that there is a new terrorist group actually terrorizing people between Kwara and Niger states. Now, this new terrorist group is reportedly called Mahmuda. But then, between Saturday and Sunday, which was yesterday, security agents came out to say that that is not true, and there is no new terrorist organization anywhere. That the name Mahmuda that we're hearing, or that is being reported, is a breakaway Boko Haram commander that left his formation to go and try to get his own stronghold, have his own base, and is actually causing problems for the communities in Kwara and Niger State. But here's the thing: this morning on the front page of Daily Post newspaper, we're seeing a situation whereby the emir of Yashikira in Baruta local government area of Kwara State has said that concerned authorities abandoned communities under attack by a terror group named Mahmuda, which is occupying some parts of the Kwara North Senatorial District and Niger State, right? If the emir of the community is coming to tell us that there is indeed a new terrorist group, and security agencies are saying, agents are saying, no, there is no new terrorist group anywhere, is just a breakaway Boko Haram commander. One, what is the difference? Then also, on the other hand, is it a failure of intelligence that they don't know, or they are not telling Nigerians the truth so that we will not be alarmed to think, oh, Boko Haram is swap on one side, armed headsmen on another side, bandits, terrorists, Lakurawa, and now Mahmuda?
Well, you are right in your concluding statement. You know, the essence, the duty of the public relations office of those agents is to run the image of the service to show that their performance level is very high and that they are on top of the situation. But in reality, it's not always like that. It seems not to be like that. So we will have to listen more to what the emir or the traditional ruler had, the concerns he has raised, that in that northern part of Kwara State and maybe the southern part of Niger or southwest part of Niger State has been taken over by the so-called Mahmuda. So it behoves on the services, the armed services, to up their intelligence and listen to the traditional ruler and work hand in hand with him because they shouldn't use it as a backbone why things would exacerbate. Because before you know it, they will overrun the whole of Kwara State and enter into Oyo, Osun, and the states, which are just neighboring to Kogi Kwara, on the southern fringes. So they should not be waiting and be, color coaching or, laundering the image of the services that they are on top, that there is no such thing, while things will continue to generate. If a traditional ruler will come and say that the entire community has run away from their place for fear of being, eliminated completely or wiped out by this horrible and terrible terror group, that means it is something to take seriously and look into and take appropriate action. We don't really expect them to come and give us details of their operation order and how they are going to go about it. It is a top secret, highly confidential for the services. Anyhow they want to go to drawing board and work it out, they should work it out, move in there and make sure they wipe out this set of reckless, useless, and irresponsible hoodlums. Because if you don't do that, they will still continue to move like cancer. They will continue to exacerbate to other middle belt states and to the south. That's my concern.
Here is another situation that many Nigerians have actually been lamenting about. The fact that when some of these people who have been involved in terrorist activities are caught by security agents and handed over to the government, after some time they say they've undergone de-radicalization, rehabilitation, and then they'll be reintegrated into society. These people get uniforms, they get starter packs, they are told your sins are forgiven, and they can go ahead and not actually pay for the atrocities that they have committed against Nigerians. Then some are asking, if this is how we continue to treat criminals, wouldn't that make criminality attractive? Also, why does it seem like the federal government is not extending this same hand of fellowship to the proscribed IPOB in the southeastern region of the country to say, come, let us pardon you and reintegrate you into society. Once we de-radicalize you, you will no longer have whatever evil or terrorist tendencies?
You see, this will show you the worry of people from certain regions, certain areas, and certain language groups, especially in the southern part of the Nigerian nation. We have just analyzed that when those people from that part of the country are apprehended, even with dangerous weapons, military hardware, they still radicalize them, integrate them back to the society. What is good for the goose is equally good for the gander. They should come out with the same pronouncement for some, militants in quotes from both the south and the southeast, because we don't have such militants in the southwest. They should tell them to come out, just like Yar'Adua did, the late president of Nigeria between 2008 and 2007 and 2010. He told them, come and lay down your hands, surrender yourselves. We will forgive you, rehabilitate you, de-radicalize you, and you become part of the society. Join us in fighting crime. You liberate in Southeast, believe you me, a lot of these miscreants and bandits in the bush who call themselves unknown gunmen who come out and hand over their hands because they must have been tired by now. They live like animals. And that they will be living in camps inside forest. And they'll be living their lives in hiding. They can't even come out to the townships because much of the intelligence gathered has shown their faces, shown their identities, shown how they can be. They are even talk to their villages. And the security services have been tracking them, going to their villages to look for them. They don't come there. They would track them to the towns where they know they have bases. They don't come there anymore. They now feel that their comfort zone is right inside the thick forest, where they believe they can from there come out to spring surprises, if possible, set police stations at place. attack the military checkpoints, kill them, collect their vehicles, collect their arms. I won't say their vehicles are blessed. That's their modus operandi. That's what they've been doing. So I believe strongly too that what is good for the Bruce is good for the Ghana. If you pronounce the same thing for South, some of those boys will come out and they'll hand themselves over. And that is one part of it. Another part is this issue of people to come and join the military and the reluctance on the part of the South. These are part of the reason. Some of them that will volunteer to join have fears and feelings from the feelers we are getting. That if they join tomorrow, they say they need to go and face insurgents in Northwest or Northeast or bandits or terrorists or whatever you call them, Boko Haram. It is them that they are put in the line of fire. And they are not, I mean, how can you take people and they are put in places, language they don't understand, they don't even understand, the religion practice is different from what they practice. That means they have been used as guinea pigs. That is why many of them are not interested. They prefer to come and learn trading and do other things and be alive. On the other side, if they also come and join, they have become endangered species, also in the Southeast, because those so-called IPOP people or those miscreants in the bush are not on the same page with people in services, especially either the police or the army. If they see those ones that will join, they will mark them out and say when they come back, they will target them and they eliminate them for not coming to join their so-called, in quotes, Biafran armed forces. They are now going to serve the Nigerian nation. So you can see that those young men, the youth, are on the fringe of sitting on the fence. They don't look between the devil and the deep blue sea. If we go this side, we'll be in trouble. If we go this side, we'll be in trouble. Therefore, to be on the safe side, let us navigate in between and learn our small trading and manage our lives and manage ourselves and be alive. That is just the philosophy in quotes behind their reluctance in joining any of the services of the federal government. That's my take. And the bit I have had and I've gathered, I put them together and tell you what I've just said.
Just before you go, CP Chuks, there is a video making the rounds, and this is not the first time we are seeing this kind of videos of policemen or military men actually coming out to make complaints about the state of the nation, and the fact that it seems that the government is playing politics with people's lives and telling them not to go after bandits and terrorists in the bush, saying that they are even sent out without ammunition and are even told, okay, you can cover this area, but don't cover so area. This is not the first time we are seeing uniformed men coming out to make such complaints. It could be about their welfare. It could be about the fact that they are not giving the right weapons, the right ammunition to actually face down these bandits. But the Vice President Shettima will be visiting just today. Of course, he will assure the resident that everything is under control, and then while he's speaking, or then when he leaves, we don't know what will happen. But over and over again, Nigerians have been reassured that the government knows what it is doing. But while the government is reassuring on one side, on the other hand, these attacks continue to happen, while the people who are supposed to protect us are complaining that they are not being given the right weapons. So will the war against insecurity ever be won?
Well, you have just said it all. That is part of the bigger problem. If, number one, don't take whatever you see in the videos as people trying to entertain the public or that they are making movies. Much of what they are saying is the reality on ground. It is the experience many of them have been going through. And a situation whereby you are not equipped in terms of welfare, in terms of material to work with, weapons and all that, and ammunition, it portends a very big danger, and that is why that war against the insurgency, terrorism and banditry is not succeeding. It needs the people in position of authority and responsibility to come out with sincerity of purpose. It is not a war based on tribalism or religion or statism or regionalism. It is something that you have to be patriotic, you need to be nationalistic, you need to be altruistic in the interest of the generality of Nigeria, especially for the upcoming generations and for posterity. So it is high time we tell ourselves the truth, come out. You can't be saying one thing and be doing another one. We will not succeed. They give the men, give them their welfare, support them. Anybody that crosses the firing line, whether he is from wherever part of the country, whether he worships Islam or religion or whatever, if you get them with arms, just send them to the untimely grave. If they are firing you, there is a way of defending yourself. That's the essence. Then the ones you can arrest, let the Attorney General of the Federation do the needful and be sure that people will be prosecuted to the end according to due process and the rule of law. So that those who have committed offenses will pay daily for it. It's not a question of looking at their faces and saying, oh, these ones are Namunam or Tiwantiwa, they are our own. No. There's nothing like that. The crime has no two faces. Crime is crime. Crime is not supposed to know religion or no tribe or no language or no region or religion and all that. It's not supposed to be so. So once, like I said, sincerity of purpose, we come out and we say something, we follow the rules, we follow the constitution, we follow the laws. We are good to go. I mean, if we do that, people will be encouraged. People will come out and support the system, support the services with their whole heart, and be sure that those bandits and terrorists are pushed completely out of the fringes of the Nigerian nation, so that we can have peace here. Once we have peace and there is security, foreign investors will have confidence and come here to invest. And our production output will increase. We will have enough food for people to eat. Cost of living will gradually come down. The standard of living will continue to come up. The GDP will go up. Our foreign reserve will get boosted. Because these are part of the components of the problems we are having. This is security. And peace not being in certain parts of the country. It's affecting everything. It's affecting family. Affecting industries coming to spring up. Even the existing industries may end up just closing down for insecurity. And it will discourage foreigners, foreign investors and Israel investors who want to come here and put their money. Nobody will want to come and invest in that atmosphere that is not safe, that is unsecured and all that. So that is just the bottom line.
CP Chuks, thank you so much for joining me on the Front Page Review this morning. I do appreciate your presence, your analysis, and your input. I hope you have an amazing day and happy Easter.
Thank you so much. I wish you could say
thank
you for collaborating and accommodating me.
Thank you so much and have an amazing day. You have been listening to CP Chuks. We're having a conversation about the issues that made it to the front pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning. Many Nigerians are complaining about the fact that there seems to be no good news in the country at all. They're saying, at what point are we going to wake up, tune into our radios and actually hear good news? We are tired of hearing what is not good news, of hearing about people dying, banditry, insecurity, terrorism, and now we are hearing that there is a new terrorist group in town, even though the security forces are saying, well, that is not true. There is no new terrorist organization in town. It is just one person who has broken the ranks, trying to form his own, trying to have his own stronghold. But then it also makes you wonder, have we made criminality, banditry, terrorism, kidnapping for ransom, forcing levies on villagers, on farmers before they can go to their farms, have we made it the norm? Have we made it attractive to the extent where we have people who just sit in one place and think, oh, let me go into into this new business. Everyone seems to be cashing out from it. How exactly are we tackling insecurity? What we keep hearing about are non-kinetic approaches, which involves the radicalization of Boko Haram element, of terrorist elements. But if we continue to forgive terrorists, is it not a way of telling them, you didn't exactly do well, but we cannot punish you? Why do we continue to actually pardon terrorists who can give information that can actually lead to the phasing out of these terrorist groups? Anyway, it's exactly 8 a.m. By my time right here in the studios. It's time for you to actually call in to be a part of the conversation. You can either call me directly or send a message on WhatsApp or call me on WhatsApp. I can't see your messages coming in on WhatsApp. Thank you so much. You do know we're streaming live on YouTube, VOP 903 FM, VOP 903 FM on YouTube. Please leave a comment and I'll take it before the end of the program. 0803 692 9933, 0803 692 9933. If you call this number, you can reach me directly in the studios. If you'd rather send a message on WhatsApp or call on WhatsApp, it is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338 on WhatsApp. Okay, so please call me or send a message on WhatsApp and I'll take it. Please, when you call, turn down the volume on your radio set. Also, just make sure you turn down the volume on your radio set. Be factual. Just say your opinion. You don't need to be abusive or insulting. Let's have a constructive, solution-oriented conversation this morning. Hello. Welcome to Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. How are you doing today? Good morning and Happy New Week.
Good morning to you. Happy New Week and happy Easter Monday.
Thank you so much. What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, my name is Peter Monte, calling you from Shomonu.
Thank you so much, Peter Monte. Go ahead, please.
I don't think the government is even fighting the insurgency in Nigeria. I don't think so. Honestly speaking, I don't think so. Because how can you tell me this morning that a new terrorist group has been made, the security agencies are denying, the those on ground are telling you this is a fact. I think maybe the new investors, the government has always been going around, the president and the bank looking for new investors. So these are new investors. They are not terrorists. That's what the government might be telling me.
What are they investing in? Are they not investing in insecurity? Is it to the positivity or to the detriment of Nigerians?
So this is actually where I'm asking questions that while we are going about looking for new investors to better the life of Nigerians, we are having new terrorist groups. So are they converting new terrorist groups to new investors? I don't understand. I'm just asking a question. It baffles me. It breaks my heart to know that for how many years now Boko Haram is still gaining ground, that today they are using unmanned drones. Why the Nigerian government bought Tucano jets, and I don't know where those Tucano jets are. Why are they not using it? Why are the terrorists gaining ground? The government of Nigeria and the security agency of Nigeria cannot fight it. Boko Haram keeps Chibok girls for how many years now? 11 years in Sambisa Forest. Are they taking over the whole Nigeria? Because 2 years ago, we were thought of the most terrorized countries in the world. Number one was Afghanistan, and number two was Nigeria. Oh, see my country, Nigeria. So today, if Nigeria is competing with Afghanistan to become number one most terrorized country in the world, are they handing over Nigeria to terrorists? It should come out and tell us. And finally, Pastor Bakari is not speaking loud enough. They're just saying to them who is playing God. No. Bakari should shout as he shouted during the time of Jonathan that this government must go. This government must go. I want to hear that from Bakari, because that's his shout. What is happening today does not resemble his shout. My sister, let us pray that God should rescue us. We don't have a problem because Tinubu said in 2013, when Boko Haram started, he said Jonathan did not fight Boko Haram. That because of this, we don't have a government. So today, the president is sleeping in another country in France, going around the world, resting, and his people are dying. Nigerians, we don't have a government. We cannot accept this. If God says our lives to see 2027, we cannot accept this.
Thank you, Mr. Omonse.
take this out of our way. God bless you. Have a beautiful week.
Thank you, Mr. Monte. I do appreciate your call. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Here's another situation. We do know that the DSS Director General recently told people who are in terrorized communities to defend themselves. Also, we've seen T.Y. Danjuma coming to also say the same thing. Defend yourselves. What is it that has been put in place for the defense of Nigerians? Does it mean we should not legalize the carrying of, the common man, the common Nigerian, carrying weapons all across the country, especially when you hear that these terrorist elements are making their way into the southwest region of the country that has seemed relatively peaceful before now? We've seen a lot of people saying it doesn't concern me, it's happening up north, it's just there. But now you're seeing that if these people can get into Kwara State before they really become as brazen and as spread out as they are in the north, it's almost as if that is now happening in the southwest region of the country. The other day we were told that, some Boko Haram suspects were arrested in Lagos, but then the police came out to say that that is not the situation. When we keep having this disparity in communication, how do we know what to believe? And when Nigerians are being told to defend yourself how? Defend yourselves with what, right? The governor of Benue State has told these people that you don't need to start, you don't need to actually start exploring options for self-help. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. Don't worry, we would actually secure you. But then once he leaves, the attackers return to actually make his words seem like a lie. So how do we expect these Nigerians in these places? How do we expect the residents of these terrorized communities to defend themselves? What exactly can they have that will be much more sophisticated than what these terrorists have? 0803-692-9933. This is the front page review. Good morning and welcome. All right, give me a call back. 0803-692-9933. Hello, good morning and welcome to the front page review. How you doing?
Hello, good morning, BOP.
Good morning. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Shola.
Shola, where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Shola, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ebeda.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, please.
Yes, okay. The natives are giving information. And the military or the intelligence unit are saying that they are disputing that no, it's not a new group, it's a breakaway faction. Now, my question is...
Hello, Shola, are you there?
What is the difference? Yes, I'm here. Okay. My question is... I think the WhatsApp, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Shola, I can hear you.
So my point is that either breakaway or no breakaway, the fact is that there is a group that is now springing up, that is now getting established. What even has the intelligence unit or the military done all the way? There's no political will. It's very obvious that these people are not interested in tackling this insecurity, and it all boils down from the top. When you look at even our leaders, even the president, it shows that they don't have the political will. Once a leader or a commander, is there and that wants to work and that wants to eliminate these people, once he gives order, you see even some military leaders, they take charge, they go to the war front. And if you look at it, I'm just trying to be factual on this. Some of the military chiefs that have been fit to work, if you see, the moment they want to start working, something happens to them, either plane crash or they just die mysteriously. So this shows that in this Nigeria, there is actually an agenda. That's my own line of thought, and I strongly believe it. You understand? And we have all been sleeping. The earlier, the better the people know and follow suit to what the DSS chief said, that we should protect ourselves. Even the governor of Plateau was saying it. You understand? Because we don't have any other means. What I mean is that to depend on the government doesn't care. They are just busy playing politics. Abacha said it. He said if there's insurgency more than 24 hours in the country, he said the government knows about it. So that is just the ironic part of it. We need to go and defend ourselves with whatever we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shala. I appreciate your call. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Call the number to reach me directly right here in the studios. You can also send a message on WhatsApp or call me on WhatsApp. 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp. Thank you for calling. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Choma.
How you doing?
Good morning. My name is Afon Adama.
Welcome to the conversation. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, Choma, see what I tried to tell Nigeria today. Why federal government they like to pamper all these Fulani them, all these Northerners, all these Hausa them? Why government like to pamper them like a baby?
You believe they are being pampered?
They will not take any action. But when me and you do something, they will take action. They will begin the parade everywhere. Look at how many army when they kill for Plateau State. Let them kill one army for Easterners now. Go here, the whole Eastern go be like war front. Why federal government like to pay? There's a secret between this Northerners and federal government.
How?
Let them do this food. Yeah?
Thank you. Thank you for your call, Afunwa. Thank you.
So
I do appreciate you. Keep listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. You can call this number to reach me directly right here in the studios. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Voice of the People. Hello? Hello, are you there? Good morning. Welcome to the conversation. All right, please call back 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. You can call the number to be a part of these conversations. This is the front page review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Hello. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Fine.
Welcome, Ben. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Happy Easter Monday.
Happy Easter to you too.
We should defend ourselves. You know, this is the problem we have in the Southeast. That's why we have a non-government. After 8 months, after now, you train them, equip them, arm them, and they get a military experience on how to use arms. And they fortify themselves with different forms of chants or military. And they get you victory against all these things. What happens now at the end? What happens? They become trigger happy. What happens? They will not get sensitivity. They will become kidnappers. And the terrorists again. How do you manage them? Now, if you are telling us to defend ourselves and you are funding service chiefs with billions of naira, 1.1 trillion that they are budget this year, why funding them again? Is it not better all this military on this? So we go better protecting all these terrorists. Is it not better to go to their barracks? They guide them to their barracks. The federal government is tampering these people. It is not good. It is not they are tampering them. Now they are telling us to out of me to defend against them. Gaskin has defended himself against Fulani Yasima. Between consenting to them. In your state, OPC members that arrested Wakil, your police cannot arrest. What happened? They arrested the OPC men and take them to Abuja to the prison. They are telling us to defend ourselves. So they start of you give them arms. From them, they do the fear that their body. And again, government will not integrate do them anything. So, Madam Secretary, is telling you now, hawkers are in Nigerian Correctional Center. Hawkers, people who were telling Santenki, who were telling Ore, they use truck at the Janova last week, they sacked them. They came to Nigerian Correctional Center. They are the ones in prison. People who were hawking, who were selling Okreka, who were selling Gramot. The terrorists are their killing soldiers. They are killing them. Shetima now has traveled to Plateau. They must also be the terrorists now that are farmers in Plateau. They have occupied their homes. They are not looking for them. What is Shetima doing? The Shetima was expected. Shetima to say, I'm sponsor these people and bring all the relocate all these people in IDP camp back to their ancestral home. Why should Nigerians be in IDP camp? Are we fighting war? Why should we be in IDP camp in our own fatherland? The country is blessed with mineral resources, blessed with oil, blessed with everything. And we are in IDP camp. Nigerians are in IDP camp to die. Go and see what is happening in IDP camp. They are pregnant in there. They are smoking drugs.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much for your call, Ben. 0803-692-9933. Hello, welcome to the Front Page Review. Good morning. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, Shoma.
Good morning. How you doing? I can hear you.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing? What's your name and location, please?
My name is Darlington Oladipupo.
Thank you for
calling
calling.
From Chicago.
Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
I just got a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. My question is, I don't know if Tinubu signed an agreement that he will not deal with terrorists, because I don't know what's happened. Everywhere is captured by terrorists. Is there any agreement between Tinubu and those people that he will not do anything about them? Thank you, Shoma. That's my question. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call. 0803-692-9933. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing? Thank you for calling. What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, thank you. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you as well.
Call for me, Master.
Thank you for your call.
Yeah, Choma, please. My first question concerning the headline is, the international community listening to all these kind of cock and bull stories that headline news Nigeria is bringing every morning. Are they listening? Are they hearing this kind of news that come from Nigeria every morning? If true they are hearing it, it should be something good that don't go change. Then talking about Tunde Bakare, it seems like portfolio are not given to him. Because if you discover 24, Tunde Bakare, Tinubu, Buhari, they are the ones that organize protests in order to go right there. Shouting that must go. I mean, the liter of fuel was 85 naira then, 87 naira. Now, when that took the back, it seems like the portfolio was not given to him. That is why he came to shout. And I want to remind him, in as much he has come to criticize Tinubu, mark it for one day, you will hear that one of his property at a waterline area that he has been demolished, or one case that they carried him. That is Nigeria for you. Then talking about the killings, I would say, why can them not emulate what is going in the past? I traveled last year, both to pool, and been taking points in the southeast. I mean, both to pool. I changed up to 10,000 naira to 200 naira meat and put in my car. I couldn't from here to Ore, that money change. So let them put police posts, army taking points as they mounted it in the southeast, or are them benefiting from those things? You remember during the Buhari administration, 5 of Northerners who was with the supporter of Boko Haram terrorism in Nigeria, Buhari should go under the carpet because it's from the north. I think bring that those names have been mentioned Chiredu or Cheka.
You really think so? It doesn't matter who the perpetrator is. What we just need is for them to be brought to book.
So I'm born and brought up in Nigeria. I know what is happening. Just like the person who called from America said, Trump signed an agreement to not fight terrorism.
Thank you so much for your call.
It's a shame.
Thank you for your call. Thank you. Thank you for your call. Let's hear from others. 0803-692-9933. Thank you for calling. Good morning.
Good morning, Choma.
How are you doing today?
I'm not bad, though, my sister.
Right.
Choma,
thank you so much, Remy, for calling.
It's
Where are you calling from,
okay.
Remy?
I'm calling from London.
Welcome. Please contribute to the conversation.
Choma, JFK was assassinated. Before his assassination, people advised him to address the issue of gun violence against black people. JFK said, if I do that, I will lose 10 million votes. And in the end, he was killed. The problem here is when people tell you to defend yourself, it is real. If your potential killer realize that you are harmed, they are more likely to think twice. Now, Pastor Bakari is speaking out. I want other pastors too to speak out. Pastor Adeboye, Gio, I need him to speak out because many of his members are in this government. Because Nigerians are having it tough. This loss of life is bad. The bloodshed is too much. If we stop one more person from being killed, I think it's worth it. Defend yourself. Tinubu, do not have your youth in mind. Have a good day.
Thank you, Remy, for your call. I do appreciate you. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Hello, thank you for calling. Good morning. Good morning. What's your name and location, please? Hello? Yes, I can hear you now. What's your name and location, please? Welcome, Biola. Please go ahead, contribute to the conversation.
Please, my straightforward contribution is what is His Excellency saying about this whole thing? Have we been able to hear from him? I don't feel like every other thing we are saying here, without hearing from the horse mouth itself, I don't think it's a waste of time. The only thing we can do to get to him, we are saying pastors should speak. Is it pastors that are governing us or the government themselves? What is this saying? Should we write a letter? They don't hear lamenting on the radio. How do we get to him? That's my faith. How do we get to him? Well, is he on top of the matter, or did he need any advice, ideas that we all need to put our hand on the test and let's see how we come out of this? What is he saying? Is it that I cannot get the situation or what? Or is he going to do something about it? Let's hear from him. Please, enough of this lamentation on radio. And not of sympathy, sending sympathy and condemning. We need to do action. It's a simple matter as far as I'm concerned. This is the security of the matter. It's a minor thing. It's a silence. Too much of silence over it. Nobody is doing anything. And it's making them to feel on top of the world. What's the big deal in this thing? Is it to construct a rash or to implore technology? Tell me, if the America, they didn't get rid of Utama through technology. Tell me what that opportunity would have been today.
Thank you so much for your call, Biola. Thank you for your call. I do appreciate you so much. All right, I have you on standby, so I will just take this call. You have 1 minute. Good morning.
Good morning, Shoma.
What's your name and location, please?
My name is Comrade Oluwafemi.
Thank you for
Daniel,
calling.
Calling from Igondo.
Thank you for calling. Please go ahead quickly.
Well, I'll be very precise because I know time is really against you. The fact is very simple. You see, there are basic things when people are campaigning, when they are making such statements. Nigerians should pay more attention to those statements and don't just ignore it. Few of the things or statements made by the current president.
Hello, are you there? Hello. Unfortunately, I can't take any more calls at the moment. I have to give way for Ogendigbo with Chika Iro and Tobechko Kasmir. This has been the front page review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I should take your comments on YouTube. You're saying this person says no good news again. Let's continue to listen to Idris's music. Bonjour madame, ça va? Ça va bien, merci et vous? Merci beaucoup. Okay, this person says, thank you for the questions. All right, thank you so much. Nigerians, una go learn the hard way. We really, really do hope not. All right, I have to sign out now. I have to take a bow and leave the studios to make way for the next crew to actually come in and do their beats. But I'll be back very, very shortly. And all of the messages you sent to me on WhatsApp, I'll take them. I'm seeing your messages. I will surely take your messages. Please pardon me for not taking it right now. This has been the front page review on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. So everyone watching on YouTube, leaving comments, calling, sending in messages, I do appreciate you. My name is Chioma Innocent. I'll make way for Ogendigbo right now, but I'll be back very, very shortly to take your messages, and the conversation will continue. Keep listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM.